This is our Tweed Crisp Jackfruit, and it's one with the beautiful crisp Arils. And we're just going to pick a couple of these today. So it's quite a different array of ripeness or maturity on these fruits. So this beautiful big fruit here, I'm going to leave this on the tree a little bit longer. The ones I'm going to pick today are these lumpy looking ones down the bottom. So if you look at the skin on these, you can see that the segments on the skin or the texture has opened up. So behind this particular fruit is an immature fruit, and you can see that the segments or the texture is much tighter. This one's all nice and open. So this one's going to ripen up. So I'm going to pick this, and then we're going to set it aside for a week or so until it goes soft and starts to smell like jackfruit, and then we'll cut it open. So when you cut it, it's going to bleed quite a lot of latex. So it's a good idea if you actually oil your tools. So I haven't done that, so I'm going to have to clean my secateurs afterwards. You just cut it from the tree, and then where you cut it, you'll find that it just drips latex. Make sure you don't get that on your skin because it can burn your skin. Some people can react to latex sap, so just be a bit careful with that. You can set it aside until it stops bleeding, so usually just sit it face down on the ground. And I've also brought a wheelbarrow with us to carry these home because they can be quite heavy. So I'm just going to let the sap run from that stem, and then we'll pop it in the wheelbarrow to take it home. And I've got another one here down the bottom. This lumpy one is also ready to pick. So we'll set those aside for a week or so and see what they're like then. Beautiful. Pauline and I are going to cut up a jackfruit here, and you know when they're ready because they're soft. So if you look, you can see that that's denting, and you can also smell it. So when I walked in this morning, I could smell the beautiful aroma of ripe jackfruit, so we know it's ready to cut. So Pauline's just going to cut through to the core of the fruit. So in the centre, we'll show you, there's actually a core running through the middle, and that's surrounded by the Arils, which is the bit that we're after. And we're going to pull it apart. They can be really sticky, so we've got the paper to protect our table. Maybe we can cut the core out actually. What do you reckon? So these bits here are the Arils, and this is the bit that we want. This is the rags. You can eat these as a steamed vegetable if you want, and this centre bit is the core, so we're going to discard that. But the seeds of jackfruits are also edible, so what we're going to do is we're going to separate the Arils and the seeds, and we're going to discard the rags and the core and the skin. So we're wearing gloves to keep our hands nice and clean. Stop all this sticky sap. So you can see it's really sticky. That's the latex in the fruit. And if you put vegetable oil on your knife or your surfaces, you'll also protect them from that very sticky sap. And these are the beautiful Arils. So we've just got a few different plates here. We're going to put the seeds on one, the Arils on another. And then we usually pop the Arils in the freezer. And what that does is it keeps them all nice and fresh. It means we don't have to eat it all at once. And they also taste great frozen. They're a little bit like a Wheat bar frozen. They're really, really good. So I'm tempted to just try a bit and see what it's like. That's really nice. It's not a very strongly flavoured one, so it's got quite a delicate flavour for a jackfruit. Some of them have very strong, rich tropical fruit flavours. So this one's not one of the ripest ones we've had. It was picked a little bit green, I think. We didn't think it would ripen up, but it's actually ripened up quite nice. We'll enjoy this. We'd call it a B grade fruit, this one, because it's not fully mature on the tree. This is what they call a soft jackfruit. There are also crisp jackfruits, and crisp jackfruits have much firmer Arils. These soft jackfruits have very soft, slippery Arils, which is another reason they're great frozen, but they're also the best type to dry. So if you want to try dried jackfruit, the soft varieties are the way to go. And they're quite good eating fresh as well if you like them when they're nice and slippery. The freezing gets rid of that latexy stuff as well. So the seeds we actually grow, these are our seedling jackfruits. And we also do a seedling crisp jackfruit, which is the other type. So these will turn into just what we call jackfruit. This is also a fairly small fruit for jackfruit. They can be easily twice as big as this. So we've had some of these particular type with hundreds of arils inside. Done. That's it. Cutting up a jackfruit. So this is Pauline organising the jackfruit to put them in the freezer. And if you keep them in their individual arils, you'll find them much easier when you get them out. So these are the jackfruits that we froze last time. So what we're going to do with the one we've just cut up is we're going to flatten them out so you can see all the individual arils there. You can actually just bust off those arils, and they are really delicious to eat them straight out of the freezer. You can also make these into smoothies, use them in desserts. They're really versatile, so once they're frozen, that'll keep in there for months. Just beautiful, and you can just break bits off as you go. So the key is to keep it relatively flat when you freeze it.